gonna tell you a story. I got invited to a party, which was big for me, okay? I don't get invited to a lot of parties, all right? I get there, I didn't know there would be hard drugs at this party, you know? And like, I don't judge or anything. It's just that someone offered me heroin, right? Like, here's the hierarchy for me, is that like weed, everybody understands weed, whatever, you know what I mean? Cocaine, you're living on the edge. Crack, you've made a mistake. But no one doing heroin has a 5-year plan, no one, okay? If you do heroin, you either play the guitar really well or you just have a lot of feelings. I don't know what to say about you. So he offered me heroin like it was normal, and I didn't want to not seem cool, but I didn't want to take the heroin. And so he passed it to me, and I was like, no thanks, man. I am stuffed. I could not have any more heroin today. I have had my fill. I am good. Thank you. I live in New York now. I moved to New York from Chicago, and I wasn't ready. Lots of things I was not ready for. One was the rats. I don't know if you guys have rats here, but no one has rats like New York, because the rest of the world's rats have shame. I saw a rat inside, all right, and he saw me see him, and instead of scurrying away, he was just like, "What's up, dog?" Like, that's... What is that? What is the... And I'm 800 times bigger than him. I could step on him and kill him. And he was like, "But you won't, though." Like, that, I'd never been more scared. I saw... My friend got a cat, and was like, "It's so great. She eats all the, like... She eats little roaches. She might even get after a rat." The cat was scared of the rat. The cat was like, "I'm fine. I'm gonna get on this ledge and wait for him to leave, all right?" It's devastating. The other thing I wasn't ready for was the third graders. I don't know what it is about being born and raised in Brooklyn or the Bronx that makes you such a natural bully, but they're monsters, okay? They're little terrorists, all right? I'm more scared of third graders now than I was in third grade. I actually asked to get off work early so I could make sure I was in my house when they got out of school, because I didn't want to run into them anymore. They're little monsters. Like, I was just walking down the street, and one was like, "Hey, hey." First of all, too much bass for a third grader, all right? I turned around, almost called him sir by accident. I didn't know who was talking to me. I turned, he's like, "Hey, what's up, bird shoulders?" I don't know what that means. But I went home and cried afterward. You ever have someone make fun of you and you don't even get it, but it hits such a core part of who you are that you get hurt anyway? Like, I was sitting, my body hasn't changed since it happened. I probably still have bird shoulder. I have no idea what it is. I have a lot of fears since I'm little, you know? I'm scared of a lot of things. My biggest fear above like rats or third graders or anything else is just finding a dead white girl. In fact, I think that's why there's no black ghost hunters, because we don't want to come in a room and just... I'm too black to just find her. There's gonna be an investigation. There's gonna be leads, okay? People are gonna be calling in. They're gonna use a picture of me on the news. It's not gonna be a good one. It's not gonna be a picture with me looking like the first picture day or something. It's gonna be me stubbing my toe like... And you're gonna see that on the news and be like, "He did it, look at him." Who smiles bottom teeth first? He is a murderer. In fact, I'm so scared that I would walk in, see her dead, scream, someone runs and be like, "What did you do?" No, that was my scream. That was not her. I know it's hard to believe, but I screamed the way she would have screamed had this been me to her, but please don't. Okay, I'll go to jail now, and I won't last. I had to take a flight. Another fear that's creeping towards the top of the list is tiny planes. You know? I had to take a tiny plane. I didn't think it would be a big deal. It only seated 8 people. It's the tiniest plane I've ever been on. It was so small that there was no cockpit. So I could see the captain and the co-pilot. I could hear both of them. At one point during the flight, the captain was like, whoa! I was like, what? Oh my God, what? No, don't act like I can't hear you, sir. We're talking right now, okay? Do I need to get up ahead? Don't tell me to sit down. I can't stand up. The plane's not that big. And I should have known something was wrong because I got to the gate and they wanted to weigh my carry-ons. Which never happens. But I was like, fine, backpack's 13 pounds, laptop's 4 pounds with the case. And then they were like, how much do you weigh? And I was like, how small is the plane? How small is the plane? You need to know my 125-pound body weighs 125 pounds. And then I get to the plane, I'm like, that makes sense, okay. Fair enough, it's the smallest plane I've ever been on. And like, it took, like this plane, I know it's not nice, I know it's not kind, but like, I was the youngest person on this flight by far. Everyone else was 80 and up. So a real thought I had on the flight was, this is heaven's waiting room. I gotta get out of here. This is terrible. She already looked dead. And her soul just had to step out to get to heaven. I wanna be up here with people dying. And you know that overhead compartment that's supposed to drop an air mask if there's too much turbulence? That's not there at all. It's just little Bibles fall out because you're gonna die. So you might as well get a verse in or something. You're dead, okay? It was terrible. And like, we were flying, and like I was having these heart palpitations and everything. I didn't know if I would last or anything. And then I don't know how planes work, okay? I can't pretend. I'm not a genius, all right? But at least the big planes take off right away. It took this little plane so long to take off, I thought we were gonna drive there. This plane is actually leaving the ground and coming back down and leaving the ground and coming back down to the point where I looked at the pilot and I was like, do we all need to jump at the same time? What's gonna keep me in the air? I just wanna get to the place, please. Guys, I'm Josh Johnson. Thanks so much. You have a great night. Appreciate it.